Here's a question you probably have, but never really consciously thought about. If you're watching the show or listening, you're probably got a connection to or a curiosity about spirituality. But how does that coexist in this age of science?
That's what we wanted to know. So we asked the universe, what is the relationship between science and spirituality?
Is one of our favorite episodes. So, welcome to this episode of What's the Universe Say About That?
I'm Mary Obama, and along with my husband Michael, we ask the universe for answers. You see, I'm blessed with this beautiful gift where I get quiet and I can connect with the loving guidance of the universe.
So, today, you'll see and hear Mary connect directly to that divine guidance and hear the words of wisdom flow directly through her in response to questions about life and the challenges we all face at certain times.
So, welcome to our home.
And welcome to this now normal, but always amazing part of our daily lives. So sit back, get ready, and let's hear what the universe has to say about that.
Let's do it. Hey there.
Hey, everybody. Sometimes Mary and I will discuss a subject before we do this and kind of gets us in the headspace. Today, we did.
We're going blind. I'm going blind.
She's going blind. I wanted to kind of surprise her and the universe with a question that I kind of think about. I observe that we did an episode, I don't know, a year ago or something about religiousness and spirituality and how do those two things coexist, and we got a great message about it. I think it was an and not an or type of thing. Today, I wanted to ask a question. We hear a lot about kind of people fall into these strong camps of spirituality, woo-woo stuff, or science. And those are two, I think, important parts of life. And I'm sure historically, this has been a struggle or a tension as long as man has been around. Is there's a science side of things, what I see, touch, and feel, and then the spirituality side. And sometimes one is stronger than the other for individuals or for certain times or for certain cultures. I'd be an interesting thing to hear what the universe says about how do those two things kind of balance or coexist, and how are we to think about science
Hmm.
versus or in addition to spirituality and vice versa?
Okay.
Pretty heady stuff, huh? These are just kind of normal things that I think about. So
Busy
science,
mind.
yeah, so science and spirituality.
Okay, great. What's
Uh,
the relationship?
yeah, yeah,
How do they exist, coexist?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see where it takes us.
Okay.
All right,
Here we go.
good. Thank you.
Leave it to you to come up with a question that is on your mind, but also is on the minds of many. Through the human experience, science has grown in its presence. The brilliant minds of those who have walked before you and those who walk amongst you, tackling the questions, some more fundamental, some seemingly trying to find understanding of that which is unexplainable. Science is the human's way of coming to understand. There's a desire by the brain to create order. The human desires certainty. Science helps support certainty. Certainty makes people feel safe. It is the unknown that is often the most uncomfortable. So it is no surprise that humans wish to control, wish to understand, wish to bring certainty into their life, undeniable truths, they believe, that anchor their understanding and their understanding of how they interact with the world. Spirituality requires something different. It requires finding the unknown. It is recognizing that there is something that cannot be seen in the way material things are able to be seen. When you can point to something physical, when you can hold it in your hands, when you can repeat it time and time again, it provides an anchor. Trusting in something that cannot be seen is like flexing a different muscle, you see. These two truths coexist. The physical and the non-physical coexist. There's so much that science has proven, and it has been delightful to understand that which is physical. But there's much that existed in the physical that was not understood. There has always been a time where the physical has not been understood. It is over the course of time that the physical has come to be understood. But yet, even in this moment, there is so much that one can see and still yet not understand. The non-physical is equally as real. There's so much that exists that you cannot see. There is so much that exists that you cannot touch. There is so much that you cannot see with your limited senses. But this does not mean it is not so, you see. This does not mean that it does not exist. If the human experience limited itself to that which can only be proven through scientific methods, understood in the manner that makes people feel certain, what a shame it would be. There is so much in your world that brings beauty and joy and peace. The non-physical, the spiritual as you call it, that force of love that has a omnipresence, whether you recognize it or not, whether you prove it or not, whether you understand it or not, it exists nonetheless. There is a force of love and energy grounded in love that is present and available to each and every one of you. But like so many things, it is a choice. It is a choice. Do you bring it into your life? Do you allow it in your life? Or do you not? Free will is something that you have all been granted in this life experience. It is what makes the life experience so rich because each of you make your own decisions, choose in your own way. But you see, the life experience is the result of the choices you make. You are always choosing. You are always choosing. So the question is, do you wish to hold the truth in your heart that there is a force of love that you cannot see, that is real? Do you choose to accept it in your life? You can call it anything you wish. You can call it God, you can call it the universe, you can call it any number of names or concepts or constructs. You get to choose, you see. But for those who are grounded in that which is called science, that which has already been proven, and only that which has already been proven, then it is by nature a life that is limited. Because you see, even science is very essence. The true scientist is one who is always seeking new understanding, who is always challenging their existing understanding. Science is a constantly growing and expanding field, you see. But there are some who have come to define science as only that which has been proven, not the science that explores and understands that which is not yet understood. So, we would suggest that a true devotee of science would be open to all things, considering the possibility of its existence. That is true science, you see. There is often a confusion. Some say they are based in science, but what they might mean is they trust only that which has already been proven. So, it is always a choice. Every one of you gets to choose, and it is not for one to judge another for their choices. But it is through this understanding that perhaps each of you can come to terms with that which you choose. So, to answer your question, both exist. Science is beautiful. It is a demonstration of the mind's curiosity. But we ask that you do not stop. Keep yourself open. There's so much to be experienced, both seen and unseen, you see.
Well, I'm sort of speechless and questionless, which is odd for me. I just have one. This is complete,
Ha ha ha.
complete non sequitur a bit, but how are you so patient with us? It seems like I mean, you know all the possibilities for all of us. And I'm just overwhelmed and humbled continually by your patience and acceptance of how we choose.
When you operate from a place of love, it is easy to be patient.
Mm,
When you operate from a place of love, you see that people are just simply doing the best they can. Love comes without judgment, you see. It is the mind and the judgment that often creates feelings of impatience, creates expectations. Patience in the way that you are asking comes from a place of expectation. If there are no expectations, there is no reason to be impatient. When you come from a place of love and you see the beauty and love within each one, you see they are doing the best they can in the moment. Life, the journey of the human experience, is one of challenge and surprise. It has fear, feelings of guilt. There are so many emotions that are abundant in the human experience. It is what, after all, makes it also interesting, no?
true.
There is an infinite amount of patience when you come from a place of love. And each of you are deeply loved, whether you know it or not.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the question. We delight in each and every one. Hmm.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
Mm,
That didn't go anywhere that I expected it to go.
that was a great
Um,
question.
it's funny. I can tell when my questions are a jumble and they take like 5 minutes to kind of explain. It's just like it's a hairball of just trying to figure something out, and then God, it's God, but it's just so clear.
Hmm.
It's just the answers or the response is just so clear and so articulate and concise, and there doesn't seem to be a word wasted. Um, that's the way I take it. It's just kind of
Yeah.
blows me away. Blows me away.
It's amazing. This is the thing that you always feel when it's coming from that divine guidance, because it's just like this truth.
Yeah.
It just makes so much sense.
For me, I don't know, points of view, you can always take an opposite point of view. It
Hmm.
feels like, it's just the way we interact with people is you can agree or disagree, or you can learn or challenge or all that kind of stuff. So there always feels like it's I don't say a dialogue,
Hmm.
on the positive way, on a positive view of a dialogue. It can be a confrontation, can be whatever. But when those messages come through, I mean, it's just taking in.
Hmm.
you know, my brain it just slows down, it calms down, and it listens.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, you're also receiving the energy
that's a good point.
from which it comes,
Yeah,
so that's love, so it feels good.
yeah,
Hmm.
amazing, amazing. So, well, thank you. I
Thank
won't
you.
I won't surprise you next time. Uh,
I like it.
all right, good. I got all choked up. Well, like I said, that was one of my favorite episodes. I hope it was yours. Hope it was helpful, and we'll see you
Thanks for
again next time.
joining. See you next time.
Bye bye.